Today we are working on our Kandinsky abstract artwork that is inspired by a mood, a feeling, or a song or dance move, and I have decided to title my artwork Roar after the song by Katy Perry, which is a very upbeat song about kind of conquering things and doing achieving some goals and that kind of thing. So it's a happy song, and I decided that I'm going to do a painting for this song with my dry tempera paints. So we have our dry tempera paints here. I have my sketch, and I chose dry tempera paints because I am planning on blending all of my colors together. And when you have wet paint next to each other, that works really well to blend those colors together. My plan here kind of looks like it's kind of my abstract idea of maybe like a tiger's mouth roaring and like the sound coming out of it, and it's going from the darkest of the warm colors, which is red, and slowly getting lighter to kind of show climbing from the bottom, the darkness, all the way to the top. And then I also have some different geometric shapes that I'm going to kind of plop in after I'm done with that, just to represent the beat and the way that the song kind of goes through, like that upbeat little bouncing of the song. And then I will kind of have black outlining it to represent kind of the beginning. So now we're going to work with our tempera paints to begin this artwork. Alright, so with my painting, I only drew out a couple of lines that I had from my sketch. I'm not even drawing in where all those shapes are going to go. They'll kind of be random, so I'll worry about that later after I get kind of the base of my painting done. So don't worry when you go to draw on your final paper. Don't feel like you have to draw every single detail out with this painting. I'm just drawing these big lines where there's the black on the outside and then my warm colors on the inside. Alright, so we know with dry tempera paints, the main thing we need to worry about is how much water we are using. So you want to make sure you get your brush dipped into your water. I'm going to start with my lightest color. That's always the best way to go when you're blending colors. I'll start with my lightest color. Get some water in there, and then make sure you're swirling your brush into that water 10 times at least. That way you're not dipping back into your paint all the time and you get a really nice bright color. Okay, and I'm using my largest brush because I'm filling in a whole bunch of space at the beginning here. And anytime that my brush gets dry and scratchy, I'm going to get more water, get more paint. I'm making sure that I get all the way to the edge of my paper. And again, when I'm filling in a large area, I'm using a large brush, long, smooth brush strokes. Now that I've filled in the biggest part where I want my yellow, I'm going to start to blend in orange to go along with this. And it's going to slowly change from yellow to orange. So I'm mixing my orange color, getting some red to mix onto my yellow here. Once I have enough, so I just mixed a secondary color. Red and yellow are two primary colors that mix together to make orange. Okay, so now I'm going to blend this kind of over top of where I had some of my yellow and then into some of my new area. That is white. So it's going to slowly change, and I'm just going to use a little bit of water to blend these colors together. That way, instead of just using a whole bunch of orange, the water kind of blends the yellow and the orange together. Alright, so now I have my area of orange. I'm going to make my orange just a little bit darker with my red here, and so it's going to my orange will slowly get darker so that it kind of blends in with my red at this last part here. So I'm keep stirring into that orange that I have mixed. Now I'm going to again use my water to blend these colors together. It's kind of looking like fire right now, which is cool and kind of also goes along with the strength of my song, Roar. Okay, so those colors are blended, and last I'm going to use red to fill in this last area here, and that's a nice bright red. Make sure you're swirling 10 times, you have enough water on your brush, using long, smooth, even brush strokes. Alright, so that's my middle part. If you're going to be adding any details to your painting later on, you want to get that background color filled in first. Let it dry for a little bit so that your details don't blend in with your background color. Alright, so I have this done. Now I'm going to go here and fill in the black areas there. So I'm just swirling in to my black 10 times. Again, I might get a little extra water. Just touch into that water. Don't clean off your brush. Okay, so then I'm going to go a little bit more carefully with my black. And because black is my stronger color, it can go over top of these colors that I just painted and make a nice smooth outline when I use kind of the point of my brush. So this is kind of showing you how the craftsmanship on using dry tempera paints. If you use the side and the point of your brush, you can get those nice outlines. You just have to take a little bit more time to do that. Now I'm just going to fill in the rest of this with black. Notice when I need more black, I just touch into the top of my water. I don't swish my brush around, just touch into the top of your water. Okay, and I'm just filling this in with my black. Alright, so now that I have my black in here and most of my base colors of my paint done, now my plan is to add in some different geometric shapes that are kind of strong, and using stronger colors like blue and purple and red to do that, to kind of again show the strength of the song Roar. And then also the beat, because there's kind of like a bumping beat that I think goes along with these shapes that I'm choosing. So now I'm going to use a smaller paintbrush to outline and make these more detailed shapes. So I'm going to take the small paintbrush, swirl into my blue paint. I'm going to make a few diamonds for geometric shapes, and they're going to be smaller and kind of all over the place. So as you can see, I am painting in these smaller geometric shapes, and they're going in a pattern that goes up and down to go along with the beat and the speed of the song Roar. I'm doing a lot of geometric shapes with my smaller detail brush. If you wanted to, you could also outline those shapes with a darker color. And then my last step was to splatter, to add more of an organic feel and a fun, wild addition to my painting. If you are going to splatter, make sure that you are far away from anyone else's painting and do it very gently and close to your own painting. Be careful not to get it on your clothes as well. This is something that you can do, but you need to be careful when you do it. If you splatter and the background of your painting is still wet, then your splatters will probably mix and blend with the colors that you already have. The way that I splattered here, the background of my painting is dry, so the colors did not mix together. So when you are doing this painting, just make sure to swirl into your paint colors 10 times. Use enough water, but not too much, and clean out your colors if you are mixing any secondary colors. Good luck!